guys, Adam Persitza here with Whiskey Throttle Media. We're out here for the 50th anniversary of the RM lineup from Suzuki. Today we're riding the RM-Z250 and the RM-Z450. Suzuki really put on a great event for us. They brought out multiple years of old race bikes and a bunch of legends of Suzuki's lineup throughout the years. We even had a fun industry race where we had Bud Antonez as our coach and different racers throughout their eras. And we're out here with Landon Bartol. He was riding our RM-Z250. It's his first time on a 250F for a full day. He's been riding 125s the last 5 months and been on super minis as well. So what do you think of the bike?
Yeah, definitely. It's the power and everything was definitely good. Had to get used to the engine braking. Yeah, once I first got on it, the forks were a little like stiff, a little pushy. And then, yeah, you know, once we softened them up, it really came alive and started turning.
Yeah, to touch on what he's talking about, the suspension, it's pretty well known Suzuki comes pretty stiff. It's a little bit more exaggerated feeling on the 250F, and we just had to soften up that front once we got some laps on it, kind of break it in, and we're able to get that thing to really dive into the corners and have that known Suzuki turning ability. Other than that, like he said, it's going to come with a Pro Circuit exhaust. You're going to get the different eras throttle syndicate, graphics. You have 5 different ones you can choose from at the dealer when you pick it up. And it's a great all-around bike. It does still have the Kickstarter on it, as we know, but it's going to be something that's going to be a great starter bike, especially if you're doing that transition from a 125 or super mini to a 250F. So Jason, you're out here mainly riding the 450. First of all, let's tell us the first impression you had on the bike.
First impression that I had, it's actually been a while since I've ridden a 450 and a Suzuki in particular, but with like a couple of clicker adjustments, I kind of felt right at home. And especially as the track started coming in a little bit more and lines started developing, the bike was actually super fun.
Yeah, it's a pretty known fact. Suzukis do come a little bit stiff out of the crate. So after a little bit of time, like you said, once the track started developing, we just kind of softened up the front to really get that front end to lay into the corners. Prior to that, it was kind of standing up and you're fighting it a little bit. But once we kind of found that sweet spot, this thing was cornering just like you'd expect any Suzuki to.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it was you that told me that they still had Weston Pike's Supercross setup in here, and although that was obviously a joke, they really do come like very stiff out of the box. So I'm not that heavy. I'm like 165 pounds or so, and like for me at a pro speed, it was still very, very stiff and just like on normal track conditions. So I softened it up quite a bit, and then yeah, like you said, it cornered pretty good. Super comfortable, and you know the power is pretty good too, especially with the Pro Circuit pipe that they throw on here. The power is pretty smooth and it just rolls on really nicely.
Yeah, and that Pro Circuit exhaust, is going to come on any new 2025 RM-Z, either 250 or 450. It's part of the RM Army Edition, and also we have these, they call them their era graphics, where they're going to have 5 different sets, and then the purchaser can decide which era they want. It's going to be from the current generation, 2000s, 80s, 90s, and 70s, kind of that whole stretch. So you'll be able to pick it out, and then it's going to get sent to the dealership for them to install for you. One good thing, like the Suzukis, they're tried and true, right? They haven't been made any major updates in the last few years, but they're just consistent. All the parts are obviously going to work all the way back to 2018, and it is just a great starter package. It's a really balanced power band. Even though the suspension is a bit stiff, it's still a very balanced ride, especially once you get it dialed in. Whether you just need a revalve or change some springs out, it's going to be a great bike for you to ride and enjoy. Suzuki really did a great job today with the bringing us the industry. We had a fun industry race that Jason got second in. He was definitely the fastest guy out in the track. Teammate could have picked up the pace just a bit, but we did what we could out there, and we got second overall for the day with some other events they held for us. And it was awesome. They celebrated all 50 years like we were talking about. They did some trivia, they had some old race bikes, and hopefully we'll get all those in the video for you to check out. Any closing remarks on the 450 or the time today?
Yeah, kind of to tie in with the racing thing that we just talked about, for me the biggest thing about being able to charge on a bike and actually push pace is the bike being predictable. So we were talking about how this bike hasn't had much innovation in the recent years, but comparing it to the newest bikes on the market from all the other manufacturers, I think it's one of the more predictable machines, and I really like that about it.
Yeah, so like we said, we had a great time out here with Suzuki. Thank you to them for setting all this up and giving us the opportunity to ride their bikes, and thank you guys for watching at home.
What's the plan? What's the plan? Don't suck. gotta slow-mo that outside move he just had. Like, it was awesome.
Dude, how about the inside in the corner before?
That was the setup?
I got that.
Clearly these guys don't have daughters because they don't know how to use hair ties.
Arm pump. Jason's carrying the team now, thank God. Yeah, solid podium. We'll have to come back for better next year or for the next 50-year anniversary.
You'll be here?
I hope not.
If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, comment what you thought, and share it with your friends.